Hello and welcome to another HS2 video. In this video, we'll be talking about why we need HS2 and what is HS2 or HS2 for short. What is HS2 and why we need it? HS2 is a multi-billion-pound railway which was designed to link London, Birmingham, Crewe, Manchester, Liverpool, East Midlands, Leeds, York, Newcastle, Glasgow and Edinburgh. HS2 is a 250 miles an hour, 400 km railway designed to release capacity on four major main lines, which are the Chiltern Main Line, West Coast Main Line, Midland Main Line and East Coast Main Line. HS2 will see 18 trains to hour on the busiest sections, more than doubling capacity on long-distance high-speed services. HS2 main goal is not to increase capacity for high-speed services, but rather to put them on their own dedicated high-speed line, freeing up parts on the existing network for more local, regional and freight trains. The West Coast Main Line is the busiest mixed traffic railway in Europe, and this is something not to be proud of, but rather to be ashamed of, since this means we cannot improve accessibility and connectivity for the people along the route without cutting services. The West Coast Main Line, Midland Main Line and East Coast Main Line are primarily four-track railways for the sections HS2 was designed to enhance, with only the Chiltern Main Line being double-track. HS2 is needed to free up capacity on the already overcrowded Leeds station, which is running at 105% of maximum capacity. Birmingham New Street would also see a massive capacity increase from HS2, as well as the Welling North double track section on the East Coast Main Line. The Welling North double track section is one of two double track sections on the East Coast Main Line between London and Peterborough. The other is between Hitchin and Peterborough. The Welling North double track section is the worst for capacity, as we have stocking services and London North Eastern Expresses flying through 115 miles an hour, which could soon be 140 miles an hour with the East Coast Main Line digital project. How has the government destroyed HS2? In 2014, the government cancelled the HS1 to HS2 link, which would have allowed for international and domestic services from Kent to run onto the Midlands and North via the Black Country without needing to use the classic compatible trains, as the loading gauge was automated. Brenham loading gauge with trains which have seen trains going from 2.82 metres to 3.15 metres wide. In 2023, the Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, cancelled Phase 2 and left older common to London Euston in the air with terms of if it gets built and also who funds it, and also how many platforms there will be at London Euston HS2 station, with current plans for 11 platforms, but it was suggesting this will drop down to 5 platforms. The cancelling of Phase 2 led to the creation of Network North West, which is meant to reallocate the funding for HS2. How the funding for HS2 comes from future returns rather than being a funding which can be moved. Also, the Network North West project was a week later cancelled, as the government said it was only examples such as North Wales coastal electrification based on a 2015 case study which said £1 billion for electrification, with an increased cost of electrification would mean it would be closer to £1.5 billion according to rail engineer Gareth Dennis, but the government only said it would cost £1 billion in 2024. The mayors of the cities affected by the cancellation of Phase 2 announced plans to build a TART replacement for HS2 Phase 2. HS2 misconceptions. That HS2 just about the speed as explained earlier. This is not true. This is rather about capacity on the existing network. The reason for the high speed of 250 miles per hour, 400 kilometers per hour, is so that then it can create capacity on all four rather than one or two. Also, another misconception is that HS2 is far more expensive than the cost on the continent. However, this is not true, as high-speed rails on the continent are built differently, as each of the stations is arranged into their own project rather than part of the high-speed railway. This means that the projects from the outside look cheaper, but in reality they are a similar cost to HS2 once you've added in all the stations and other infrastructure which HS2 includes as a single project. HS2 is very damaging to the local environment. This is not correct. Let's compare HS2 to the Lower Thames Road crossing, which will affect the same amount of land, but one is powered by dirty fossil fuels and is 14 miles long, while the other is powered by green electricity and is over 250 miles. The Lower Thames crossing will only fix traffic for a few years versus 120 years for HS2. The cost per mile the Thames Road crossing is more extensive than HS2. The cost of HS2 is necessary for the major benefits it provides with other options, such as reopening the Great Central Mainline or adding extra tailor tracks to each of the mainlines, not being as cheap as HS2. For the Great Central Mainline, you'll be limited to between 110 and 115 miles per hour without tilting trains, which is no better than the West Coast Mainline. Also, you need to build a diversion to link to Birmingham. For the additional track options, you'll need to demolish 150 plus years of development for the extra tracks, which need to be done for all 4 routes, which means roughly 4 times the amount of land and tracks needed as HS2. And since a lot of land is already built on next to the current railways, we're looking at least 250 billion versus the 100 billion for HS2. Though both would provide the same amount of overall capacity increase. How to restore HS2 to its former glory. Let's start off with the immediate effect of uncancelling HS2 Phase 2 in full, as well as the HS1 and HS2 link. Also extend the dedicated HS2 line through the Scottish Central Belt to make rail even more attractive than flying or driving, as shown by the success of the low-cost ocean access operator Lumo. I would also restore the suggested North Wales coastal electrification and other electrification schemes suggested by Network Northwest project to allow HS2 trains to reach more destinations. As part of these electrification schemes are the enhanced loading gauge to DC rather than W12, which would allow larger passenger and freight trains onto upgraded sections. Also, platforms would have to be moved out to allow for this enhanced loading gauge, so at the same time raise the platforms to 1,115mm above railhead height to provide level boarding with HS2 trains, and with an offset from railhead of 1,650mm. This would then allow you to reopen a lot of stations and branches on the currently congested railway, as you would have been given more paths by the building of HS2. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe to a train spotter from Berkshire.